They say an empty mind is dangerous. But what if emptiness is not a curse, but a doorway? This is the story of a man who had everything, yet felt lost, until one day when emptiness became his greatest teacher. Arjun was the kind of man everyone envied. He had a well-paying job, a fancy car, and a house that touched the sky. Every morning he woke up to the sound of his phone buzzing, emails, messages, meetings, calls. His mind was like a crowded marketplace, full of noise, full of rush. He told himself this was success, but deep down a quiet voice whispered, "Something's missing." He ignored it. He didn't have time for such thoughts. He believed peace would come after he achieved more. Days turned into months, months into years, and one morning, while looking at his reflection in the mirror, he realized he didn't recognize the person staring back. His eyes looked tired, his smile forced, his mind heavy, full but empty at the same time. Then came the breaking point. It was a rainy evening. Arjun was driving home after yet another long day of chasing deadlines. His head was spinning with thoughts, targets, reports, what's next, what if? Suddenly, his phone buzzed again. A message from his boss. Just 3 words. "Call me now." Something inside him snapped. He pulled over, right there, in the middle of the road. The sound of rain hitting the windshield echoed like his heartbeat, fast, restless, loud. He didn't call, he didn't move, he just sat there, staring blankly at nothing. And for the first time in years, he felt completely still. Tears rolled down his face, though he didn't know why. Maybe it was exhaustion, maybe relief, maybe his mind had finally grown too tired to think. He closed his eyes, and in that moment of silence, he felt something strange, something he had never felt before. Peace. Not the peace that comes from success, not the peace that comes from finishing a task, but a peace that comes when there's nothing left to fight, nothing left to prove. The next morning, Arjun woke up early. No phone, no plans, no rush. He stepped outside and watched the sunrise. For years, he had missed this simple sight. He had been too busy filling his life that he never learned how to empty it. He sat in silence. At first, his mind rebelled. "Why are you wasting time? You should be working." But he didn't move. He just breathed. He listened to the birds, the wind, his own heartbeat. And then, slowly, he began to notice something. The world didn't stop when he paused. In fact, it became clearer. His thoughts, which once tangled like threads, began to settle. He realized his mind was not broken, it was just too full of noise, worry, comparison, and control. And in that emptiness, he started to see what truly mattered. He remembered his mother's words from years ago. "Son, even the sky needs to be empty to hold the stars." For the first time, he understood. Emptiness wasn't nothingness, it was space. Space for peace, for love, for clarity. Weeks passed. Arjun still worked, but differently. He didn't chase everything anymore. He chose what mattered. He spent time with people he loved. He listened more, spoke less. He learned to pause, to breathe, to be still. And strangely, life didn't get worse, it got better. He found that when the mind is empty, even small things become beautiful. A cup of tea, a quiet morning, a smile. He discovered the power of doing nothing sometimes, because doing nothing doesn't mean wasting time. It means giving your soul a chance to speak. Arjun's story reminds us of something we often forget. You don't always have to add more to your life to feel complete. Sometimes you have to remove what's unnecessary. We fill our minds with noise, our schedules with chaos, our hearts with expectations, and then we wonder why peace feels so far away. But peace doesn't come from more, it comes from less. When the mind is empty, the heart finally has space to feel, and when the heart feels, wisdom follows. So maybe, next time you feel lost or overwhelmed, don't rush to fill your mind. Let it empty, let it breathe, because sometimes the quietest mind holds the loudest power. They say an empty mind is dangerous. But what if emptiness is not a curse, but a doorway? This is the story of a man who had everything, yet felt lost, until one day when emptiness became his greatest teacher.